Welcome to Hell. Or more accurately, welcome to my review of Drag Me to Hell, the new Sam Raimi film. I saw it at the cinema last night. It was advertised as a mystery film and nobody knew what it was going to be. I was thinking maybe it was going to be G.I. Joe or Transformers 2 or something equally exciting. It turned out to be the British film, the low-budget British film Looking for Eric, which is all about Eric Cantona, so I thought, fuck that. I thought, I'm not going to watch a film about Eric Cantona, I'm going to go and see Drag Me to Hell instead, because it looks good and it's got really good reviews. And I really enjoyed it, I must say. It's Sam Raimi's first venture back into horror for quite a few years. Some of you may know that he did the Evil Dead films many years ago. I think the last one was in 1993, so it's been a very long time since he's directed a horror film. He's certainly more well known these days for doing the Spider-Man films. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, the third one of which is not very good. But Drag Me to Hell is really, really good. I wasn't sure what to expect from the trailers. I didn't think that they looked particularly good. But I think it's a difficult film to make a suitable trailer for. It's not dark and scary in the kind of way that you might be expecting. There's not lots of creeping about in the dark and dark corridors and spooky goings on. In fact, I was surprised how much of the film takes place during the daytime. Yet it's still very, very creepy, and I probably jumped more at the film than I have in any film that I've seen recently, and the audience seemed to agree that it was very scary from the amount of kind of screaming and squeaking that was going on around me. It stars Alison Lohman, I hope that's how you pronounce her name, as a young woman who works in a bank, and she's angling for a promotion, and she hopes to get this by denying a customer a extension on a mortgage, and hopefully her boss will see that as a good thing. The person in question happens to be a elderly gypsy woman who's really, really scary and kind of wrinkled, and she has a freaky eye. And basically the old woman places a curse upon her which says that she's going to be taken to hell in 3 days' time, and she has to fight against it and try and avoid being dragged down into the pits of hell by a demon. Justin Long also stars in it. I know him from things like Live Free or Die Hard, which is called Die Hard 4.0 in the UK, and also from stuff like Galaxy Quest. It's quite a gory film, I was quite surprised. It's not so much blood and guts, it's other stuff. I won't spoil it for you, but there's a couple of scenes which nearly made me throw up. They were just completely disgusting. And just got a big reaction from the audience. You'll know what I mean when you see the film. Actually, overall, the film reminded me of early Peter Jackson films like Brain Dead and Bad Taste, which you should see if you haven't seen them. And of course, Peter Jackson went on to bigger and better things, or bigger things at least, and not necessarily better, in the Lord of the Rings films, in the same way Sam Raimi went on to do the Spider-Man films, which are much more mainstream than his earlier stuff. So it reminded me a lot, obviously, of the Evil Dead films. It reminded me of early Peter Jackson stuff, and the person I saw it with said it reminded her of a Stephen King story called Thinner, in which a gypsy places a curse on a fat guy, which means that he's going to get thinner and thinner until he dies, unless he can somehow lift the curse by giving it to someone else. And this is the same kind of basic story behind Drag Me to Hell. There's also some nice little homages to 1980s Universal horror films, in the sense that at the beginning of the film you get an old-style Universal title card, like the opening logo, basically. And it's also surprisingly funny in places. I won't spoil it, but some of the gruesome bits are quite slapstick in a sense, especially the bit when an anvil falls on someone's head and their eyes pop out. There's a nice little twist at the end, which I didn't guess. The person who I saw the film did guess, but I didn't see it coming. And it's quite shocking if you don't get it, because it really takes you by surprise. You think that everything's done and finished with in the film, but it turns out to be not. So overall, I give the film 4 gouged eyes out of 5 and say it's a great horror film, well worth seeing. Go and see it at the cinema, because it won't be quite the same on DVD. You really need to see it with an audience to get their reactions. So until next time, don't have nightmares, and never, ever trust a gypsy. Is that racist? I don't know anymore. Goodbye.